Hey guys, I am here at the movie theater tonight. I am here. I went through all the movies. I looked, and there wasn't anything that I hadn't seen that I wanted to watch until I hit the very bottom of the screen, and then I found out there was a special showing. Now, all these special showings that I've seen recently, except for the last one, they're all movies that I wanted to see, but I never got around to seeing. Like the Transformers. The 35th anniversary of the Transformers movie. I'd seen that several times, but I had never seen it in the theater, and I wanted to see it in the theater. This is kind of the same thing. You're going to laugh when I tell you what I'm going to go see. I have seen this movie so many times that I'm probably going to go in there and say the lines along with the movie. I'm talking about, now here, this is part of the franchise. I love this franchise, but there's only really 2 movies in this franchise I really like, and there's like 7 of them in the whole franchise. I am talking about the Terminator franchise. We're about to come out with, Terminator Zero on Netflix, the animated cartoon about that goes on between Terminator and Judgment Day, right? I'm super excited about that. So this is the 40th anniversary, 1984, when this movie first came out. It was a summer blockbuster, and I remember I never saw it in theaters. I remember my brother coming home on leave from the military. He rented it, and I was the big movie guy. He wanted to watch it once, and I was the big movie guy. So the 2 remaining days at the 3-day rental, I watched that movie so many times. It was fun. I loved that movie. But Judgment Day is definitely my favorite out of all the franchises. And then third one's watchable, and the rest of the movies are just pieces of poop. They are big pieces of poop. But this is out of the 2, out of the T2, Judgment Day, and Terminator, this is my least favorite of the 2. But I still love this movie, and I'm still going to enjoy the heck out of it. So in just a few seconds, guys, I'll be right back to let you know what I thought about the special showing of the 40th anniversary of the Terminator movie. I'll be right back. All right, I'll see you later. Bye. Hey guys, I just got done watching the film. And just in case you've been living under the rock for the last 40 years, let's go ahead and talk about the Terminator. It's a time-displaced story, right? So the robot, his mission is to go back in time to kill the savior of humanity. That's it. That's your elevator pitch. That's your one sentence for this whole story. And it's pretty serviceable because that's exactly what's happening. Now, this movie is not complicated at all. Like, even back then when we first saw this movie, I remember watching and going, this is a trope. This is something I've seen already. But it was written and directed by somebody that we really didn't know at the time. But we soon got to learn his genius, right? His name is James Cameron. I love that guy all the way up until, Titanic. And then, but he really, you can tell in this movie, this is a really low-budget movie. That future scene that I told you about, it's got your first facade layer to it, where Reese and maybe one or 2 other characters are interacting with it, and then they have the green screen behind it. It is projecting these miniatures that are sized up and scaled up to match his scale to make it look like a war-torn city, right? And but it looks good, even though it's cheap, and you can tell it's cheap. It still looks good. You can tell that the mastery behind his direction and artistic skill. I'm talking, of course, of James Cameron. He's a genius. He is simply a genius when it comes to action films. He knows what they're supposed to look like, and he is really good about changing that vision in his head into the film that we watched right here. It was really super cool. Even on the cheap budget that we had, you could see him working on that. And that future scene that I was talking about, it's interspliced throughout the whole film. So he took that's probably the most exposure shot he had in the movie, because most of it takes place in present time, and they obviously did that for budgetary reasons. But he took that expensive scene and he chopped it up and he used it throughout the film to keep our attention and to keep on reminding us of what this movie could be, right? And it was awesome. Those little treatments, those little tastes, a little flavor of the science fiction, this expensive, high concept science fiction that we had, really kind of it seeded this movie so that when we had to go to the lesser budgeted scenes, we had that in mind. So like, we had that science fiction landscape in mind when we turned our attention to the Terminator, and that just helped me buy the whole premise completely. And this movie was excellently directed. I loved this movie. This movie was... okay, let's just talk about the characters real quickly. Here's the thing. Like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is like his first really big role. Did you guys know that it was supposed to be, they contemplated using O.J. Simpson? I don't know how much they contemplated it, but his name was actually in the running for the Terminator. This would have been a totally different world if that would have happened. But we have Arnold Schwarzenegger in his first big role. Now, I've seen him in other roles before. The Long Goodbye with Elliot Gould comes to mind, where he didn't even have a speaking role, but he definitely had a screen presence. But his first speaking role, his first major role, his first role that, like, people recognized him from was this movie right here. We have Linda Hamilton. I think... this is not her first major screen role, but it's probably within 6 months, because I remember her being in, what was that cheap-ass movie, Children of the Corn? Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good, but it's technically a movie, right? And she was in that movie before she was in the Terminator. So she was just a fledgling starlet as well. And then we have this guy right over here, Reese. The guy who played Reese. Reese, he's not the greatest actor in the world, but he's not the worst actor in the world. He looked really good on that screen. And he did turn out to be one of James Cameron's favorites. I know he wasn't Aliens. He wasn't supposed to. The guy that he replaced actually ended up in jail. But he was the second choice for that character, right, as far as James Cameron goes. And then he was in The Abyss, too, which is one of my personal favorites of James Cameron's. I love The Abyss, but it's got to be the director's cut. It can't be the theatrical cut, because the theatrical cut made no sense at all. So, again, let's get back to the Terminator. Here's the thing. The only other thing I want to say about this movie, I love this movie. I did say before we walked in, I like Judgment Day better. It is a better film. It is more expensive. I remember talking to Alexa just recently, and it telling me that the reason why James Cameron made Judgment Day is because he had all these expensive ideas he wanted to put into the first movie, and he wasn't able to because of budgetary constraints and also studio involvement. So when he made it big with Aliens, they basically came to him and said, "We like you. You make us money. Make us more money, please." And he said, "Well, I have this idea. It goes back to my original, and all you have to do is invest a lot more money into it, and I can make you a lot more money from that." And they're like, "Sign us up." That's how T2 came around. Terminator is a very solid movie. It was a very, very solid movie. I don't think it marked his directorial debut, but it was one of his first, and it definitely got him on the map to get him to more prestigious jobs, as in like the T2 or the Aliens or even Titanic, which I don't like, or any of his other films like True Lies. But, I mean, they wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for this movie. So, hats off to this movie. Hats off to Terminator. I love this movie. Let's talk about the experience real quick here, and then we're moving on. I'm not going to grade the movie. Hold on for a second. Hold on. I need to stop this. Hi. Yeah, this is Future Scott. Future Editor Scott. I've made a lot of editor notes. I'm going to let him keep on rambling on. It doesn't matter. We can edit this later. But I just wanted to make a quick note because I'm rambling on. I'm all hot and bothered by the fact that they didn't do anything special for this Terminator showing. And then I come back and I realize that it's the Cinemark in '84, Big in '84, I think it's called. It's their promotion for this week where they're showing 84 movies at this entire week for $5 each, and then every single day has a different movie. So I didn't catch that, and I'm just complaining about that crap right now. I don't know why I wanted to make a priority over this stuff over the fact that it was packed. It was packed. Now, understandably, they put us in the small theater, so it had a smaller capacity to it, but the whole upper tier was completely gone. It was gone. I had the last row on the aisle seat, on the very last row. It was packed. And that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool. So I'm just gonna skedaddle out of here and let him keep on rambling. I see why. There was nothing. So as far as the experience goes, no, I want to end on a positive note. So let's go ahead and give the movie 100%. But for the experience, I'm gonna give it a 50. You know, I enjoyed the restoration of the film. I enjoyed the Christmas of the film. I enjoyed watching that film on a huge screen. And its resolution just being really crisp and really precise. But I really, really was looking forward to seeing something extra, a little DVD extra to go along with this movie. And they didn't. They just kind of dropped the ball on that. So 50% for the experience, 100% for the movie. I'm going to get out of here, guys. I enjoyed watching this movie once again. You know, if you don't have this in your hometown, then celebrate the 40th anniversary on your own at home. Turn that Tubi on and get that Terminator movie rolling. And let's go ahead and celebrate 40 years of the Terminator. Yay! Hey guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to get out of here. But until then, I do wish everybody peace. Montane, I'll talk to you guys later, and goodbye. See you guys. See you next time.